Morning folks, it's about 5:30 AM. I'm just leaving my house, walking to the train station. We're looking to undertake our first winter camp of the year. Gonna head for a really early train before catching a bus, maybe hitchhiking and then catching another bus to our destination. As always, hope you all enjoy. Let's get on with it. That's us arrived at Kinlochleven. We've 2 buses to get here. Luckily we managed to have a stop off, get some breakfast in Ballyhoolish. The cafe just opened just in time for us arriving. But now we've headed up behind the backs of Kinlochleven and we're heading up a trail which is hopefully going to take us onto the open hillside, where we'll be spending the next couple of days hiking and camping. That's us looking back down into Kinlochleven. My first time being here. Seems quite quaint, but I don't think you'll get a lot of sun here. It'll be quite dark most of the year, I'd imagine. Just heading up this narrow trail here, heading up towards the back end of the Mamores. We were hoping to camp for one night at one of 2 spots we've got in mind. There's a couple of bilacs up here, depending on how long it takes us to get up. We'll see what one we end up staying at. Average strategy to avoid the bog. Yeah, that's nasty. We've just made it off the path there, which has brought us up from Kinlochleven. We're now on this estate track, and as you can see, the hills are peppered with a wee bit of snow. Actually, when we were driving through Glencoe earlier on the bus, the hills there were completely covered from Ben Lomond onwards up until about here. The hills were completely covered from about the 500 metre mark. But now that we've gotten here, these hills are only peppered, at least from this side. It's been a northeasterly, so maybe we're protected here, and once we get over the other side, maybe we'll find a bit more snow. Right folks, we've just made it into the quarry here, if you can hear me, just below Binnein Mòr. Probably butchered that name, this man will pronounce it far better for you. And then we're going to head over this way. Hopefully there's a wee lochain further on, and I've read that there's some nice flat ground over there. So hopefully get there and pitch the tents, and then I'll tell you what our plan is for the rest of the day. Oh, this is a perfect point to bring here. I've got a decent bit of shelter from the munro there. Flying back, see Glencoe. We've just reached a little bit of the snow. There's nowhere near as much snow up here as I thought there would be. I mean, I think you can see over there to the Ben Alder range, coated in snow, all further south, coated in snow, as I say, from about 500 metre mark, and we're sitting about over 700, approaching 800 metres here, and there's barely anything, which is a bit disappointing. But I suppose this area must have not had as much precipitation last night. I know further south it was raining, so in the higher slopes it's turned to snow. Tell you folks, see, once you get out of that sun, protected by this hill, it is biting cold. You actually feel the temperature. I think it's meant to be about -1 to -3 right now. Wind chill, it means it feels about -15 supposedly. And it's to get down really cold tonight. I think it's get down to about -6, -7, not including wind chill. So we've got the winter kit. I've got some new pieces of gear which I'm excited to try out. I'll show you them when we're heading further along and get camped. But oh, it's gonna be class. Right folks, we just came up a wee bit from the lochain here and we found this flattish bit here, which overlooks this absolutely jaw-dropping view over to the annex. Binnein Beak there. Up there's Binnein Mòr, where we'll hopefully be this evening. And Corrie there. Sgureldi Beak, I believe that is. And Sgureldi Mòr. So yeah, we're gonna pitch a tents here, get a wee bite to eat, and then decide what we're doing, if we're heading out to Binnein Beak or up to Sgureldi Mòr. Yeah, what a spot, that's how it's hopefully gonna be. Get the sleeping bag out, get it lofted up so it's nice and toasty for tonight. I won't put my sleeping mat up until later though, because it can deflate because of how cold the ground is. Right folks, so a sit rep, we've just pitched our tents. We moved from the last spot that I probably showed you where we were pitching our tents, and we moved further down because it was really quite windy. I'm actually heading back up there right now because my aim, turning around, is to head up there. That's the Binnein Mòr. So Charles is gubbed because his bag is crap and can't carry the weight, so he's gubbed. So I'm going to head up. I've got about an hour sunlight left. I should be able to get on the ridge and get a lovely sunset hopefully. Head up to the summit and then head back down, get some dinner. That's the idea at least, but look at the glow behind me. An absolutely stunning spot. It's the 14th of November and we've got this wee cold front coming in from the north, so make the most of it. Blasted up here a wee bit. My feet are starting to feel it now though. These boots are my summer climbing boots and it's really quite cold, so I'm just constantly wiggling my toes. I've got a pair of the hand and feet warmers if necessary. I was hoping it wouldn't come to that, but well, play it by ear. Current sit rep, we're on the slope. I'm just kind of taking a shortcut, beelining straight up, doing my sideways steps. But that's gorgeous. Let me flip you around. I mean, I hope the view at the top's amazing, but I'll just shut up. The camera won't pick it out, but our tents are down there just at the wee lochain. I've got a nice wee spot down there. Brand new tent. I'll maybe show you a bit better in the morning. Terra Nova, laser, all season. It's a wee bit fidgety, I can't lie. Setting it up with the poles at either end. But once you get the technique right and get them taught, it seems pretty bomb proof. Anyways, I'm not far from the ridge. Right folks, I do not know how well you can hear me right now. I'm going to shelter you from the wind. From here on out, I just want you to enjoy these views. I've not even peeked my head over, but I cannot wait. Look at that. I mean, starting from looking east where the wind's coming. We emerge to this. Oh my word. But you know, we take Glencoe, the buckle like a big, still kind of screamach, Binnein. I just bet loads of sun behind the mountain over there. The last of the light before I pull up there and over to my objective. It's probably going to get biting cold. I've got my head torch. I've actually got 2 head torches on me, but I should hopefully be able to get up and down there. Twilight in the sky. So yeah, I'm going to play on, put the camera away for a bit, and yeah, I'll see you probably near the summit. can't lie folks, my knees have seized at me 6 or 7 times, they keep jarring. I've no idea why, but they're so stiff. 9 millimetres away from the summit here. Wow, I've got a lull in the wind. What a place to be for sunset folks, what a place to be. I'm calling this the top, that's too sketchy to walk along without crampons. I have no idea if this is a true summit or is it further along here, but this is high enough to me. Binnein Mòr. Oh, what a day. What a day. Unfortunately guys, I'm not going to linger here long. As you can hear, the wind's still picking up and the light is completely gone. We're into twilight now, so head back down the ridge and then continue on down and hopefully be able to find the path which I was on lower down before I completely lose the sun. What a place though, what a place. Don't know how well you can hear me, but that's me just dropping in, losing the sunlight. Got the ice axe out. And I'm going to drop down back to the tent. I don't know how well you're going to see me, but I'm just on the side of the hill here. I've just came down a wee bit further, got a drink of water, and I'm changing gloves because I'm in shelter, so it's actually really quite warm here when you're out that wind. I'm about halfway down the hill, maybe about a 20-30 minute walk away from the tent, so I'm going to get some water and then hopefully push on a wee bit further. Back at camp, made it down. Took me about an hour and 45 minutes total journey, so I'm going to head back in, get everything set up inside. And I'll bring you back when we're getting some food on. I've got my new mat out, it's the Exped Dura 8R. It's a down mat and it's rated down to minus 50 degrees, so I don't think we'll be freezing tonight. It's to get down to maybe about minus 4 to minus 6. So we'll see, it'll give it a good test nonetheless. So I'm going to start down. I've got a bit of this sausage just in a packet. Gonna get that and then I'll bring you back when I'm actually cooking some food. It's a wee bit blustery outside at the minute. Might go and check, make sure everything's gelled out properly, just because this side's falling on top of me a wee bit, but other than that I'm nice and cosy, currying up, get a bit of heat before I make it out and make my dinner. Give me a second or two to get the gas started there. It's so cold, I don't know if you can see. It's absolutely so cold, it's just struggling so much to get going. The menu tonight, Some spicy pork noodles. What I'm going to do is I've got the fire pot meal, stick it inside my jacket. Keep myself warm because it's so nice and toasty. I've got 15 minutes to wait anyway, so may as well utilise the heat before it goes. Also got some leftover tea. Well, not tea, but hot water, so I'm going to get that in mind. Keep myself up as well. The wind seemingly has died down as well, which seems to be quite good. Hopefully it keeps up like this because it was really battering for a bit. The tent's holding up really well though, so I'm happy. But if it keeps off, then I might even be able to get a wee fire. We're here at Charles's cooking station. Look at the state of this place. What's on the menu, mate?
Let's go. Thin cut Scotch beef steaks.
Only the finest. I mean,
Not the finest, mate.
oh, it's finer than what I've got, mate. It's 10 times finer than what I've got. No, we're gonna eat up and try and stay warm.
What do you think of this?
Look at this, folks. Completely and utterly outdone. We're on to steak number 2 and I think they're getting better as they go on. The pan's now well seasoned. Right folks, I don't know how well you can see me or hear me, but I'm just outside the tent. We've got quite a mad plan this evening. We're just going to head up Binnein Mòr, which is just above the campsite. We're about 200 metres just below the summit. So we're going to do a bit of nighttime nav up to the top, touch the summit, so that tomorrow our plan is to head along deeper into the Mamores and pick up some more tops before dropping back into Kinlochleven. That's us just left campsite. We're heading up onto the open hillside. Camera probably won't pick it out, but there's stars galore. I'll put a photo up right now. It's absolutely unreal. But we'll head up this way for a couple 100 metres and hopefully get to the summit. Right, Charles has just got his head torch on. Look at that. That's 4,000 lumens. We're a good distance away. Now if you turn yours off, mate, and I'll turn mine on for comparison. Look. You can't see anything anywhere near as much detail as Charles is. That's insane. I mean, I do have the same head torch, I just don't know how to configure it to that setting yet. Not much, folks. We're just out, middle of the night, climbing this mountain. Oh, that was good, eating snow for hydration. We're about halfway up the mountain so far. Wind has died, or at least we're protected because we're on the northwestern side of the mountain right now. So I think when we're on the summit we might be in for a wee surprise, but we shall see. Onwards and upwards.
How do you triple press it? You get strobe mode.
Probably. Charles just pressed his torch again full whack and you could just see the summit poking up in the distance. It's so cool what you can do with technology. Look at that, that is all the way up there. We're close, we're just in this wee like bouldery section. Then it's a tad tricky underfoot, but nothing major. We're just below the summit's over there somewhere. We're on this, it's a pretty pinnacly section. There's a drop there. There's a drop down to my right there. It's not that bad as you can see. It's just down there. We're going to stick to this ridge. And the summit should just be up ahead. On, mate. There we go. Mòr. We believe. Unless the true summit's still along there somewhere. Oh, we'll double check. But this seems promising. As predicted, that was a false summit, false cairn. Got a wee bit further to go, maybe another 60 metres along another wee ridgy bit until we actually get to the true summit. I mean the map says that this is the true summit, but I'd honestly be more inclined to believe that cairn over there. It's the true summit, seeing as there's a cairn there and it actually does look higher. But anyway, we've been here, covered all bases, covered all tops. That was a nice wee summit anyway. Pushed up, took us about half an hour to get here. Unfortunately I can't show you absolutely anything. I'll put another photo up maybe of the stars which I get from up here because they're absolutely wonderful. And then I'll probably bring you back when we're closer back down to the tent. But just thought I'd let you know what we're up to up here. Perfectly boiled. Hot water and a Kit Kat. Who can complain? Morning folks, the time now is just before 8 AM. I've just woke up. Now let me show you this, like look how condensated the tent is. Look at this sleeping bag, it's soaking. Absolutely soaking. Yeah, that just shows how cold it was last night. Now, I'm going to show you outside because it's absolutely gorgeous before we get some food on. And yeah, I don't think this tent's going to dry out anytime soon, so I'll have to pack it up soggy. Just wanting to show you the tents here. Look at this. It's like camel print. All the ice clumping on the outside. Look at this. Absolutely insane. I wish I had a thermometer. I might get myself a wee one just so I knew what the temperature was. It's absolutely biting cold. Look at the sun on the hills, so it's absolutely gorgeous. So nice. Look at that. That's a shot and a half right there. Anyway, I'm completely wrapped up. I've got two big jackets on. I ended up putting one on in the middle of the night because I woke up and I was like, why am I so cold? There was so much condensation in the tent that I felt my hair and it was frozen because water had obviously went on my hair and it completely froze. It was, I've never experienced that before. It was strange, but I slept well. Only woke up a couple of times. Was up once in the night for a pee, but standard procedure. Anyway, I'm gonna get water, and last night this was not frozen. It was only a wee crust in there. Now look, the entire thing's frozen. So in she goes. Oh. Let's get this boiled. So what we're using to cook here is we've got just some gas in a canister, and what's happening because it's so cold overnight, it's liquid gas, so the gas inside is freezing up and it's struggling because there's a pocket rocket and it's up full whack and it's not giving much output whatsoever. So what I might need to look into is a multi-fuel stove, and they allow you to use something called white gases, and white gases, they don't really freeze as much, they don't freeze like these liquid gases in the canisters, so you can use them all throughout winter without having a worry, because this is a struggle. Right folks, so I've been letting everything hopefully dry out a wee bit. I'm not sure how well it has. I've just had some nice hot water there, but now we're gonna get this tent packed up and away so we can get up and onto the ridge hopefully. There's a nice bit of brightness, but there's some snow flurries over deeper into the Nevis range over there, so they might come over our way. So I'm going to get this packed up and I'll bring you back once it's all away. That's us both all packed up now. This spot was an absolute belter. We'll definitely be back here, maybe later on in the season when there's more snow. Might need to bring out a snow shovel. least let's hope that would be the case. But we're going to leave the lovely lochain and I'll flip you around and we're going to head up where I went last night, up onto the ridge. A wee bit up from where we camped and I found this little stream coming straight from the mountain, so to fill up my water. First test of the rock water. That is so fresh, that's amazing. It's getting a natural filter here anyway as it's running through the moss there, so should be okay. I just came up over the top onto the Bealach. Once again an absolutely cracking view over to Glencoe. Wee bit of cloud hugging the top of Binnein, but at least it's nice and clear. Binnein Mòr up there, clagged in now, but our route's going to take us over. You see the wee ridge leading us up over that direction, that's where we are heading. A little bit more frost on these hills because those ones in the foreground didn't have any frost on them yesterday, but it's properly cold today.
Look at the Kinlochleven, there's some snows on that.
Just a wee quick peek back where we were. Trailhead more there in the background, that's where we were up last night in the pitch darkness. We're just scrambling our way up this last little section. The summit cairn's just up ahead. What an absolutely stunning place. We're going to get a bite of water here. We've got such a long way ahead. I'll show you the route. You have to drop all the way down. It's a massive crack. Up, along, all the way down. Along, up, along, up. Down the other side of that there's a Bealach, and then up another one, and then down again. It's a long way. That was one of the most horrible descents. It's so icy. I actually slipped a section. Luckily I just bashed my elbow, but nothing serious. Just maybe just below where Charles is, but I mean look at this Bealach. Look at the view you get over to Lochain and the Verpair in the background. And Bodach there where our end objective is. And then look what we have to climb straight back up. Oh dearie me. Looking over back the route we came. A little subsidiary peak here, just down from the Munros summit. Keep on pushing. Got another massive descent down before the second Munro of today, and then a traverse along to the third. Right folks, so we've got a wee bit of a sit rep here. Because we've been taking buses up, we're having to rely on public transport. The last bus out of here is 5:30. The time right now is just after 12:30, so we only have less than 5 hours to get up there, that Munro, drop down, up Bodach, then we have to drop down the other side, down a really steep Bealach, and then walk back into Kinlochleven. Now, the walk reports which we've read, because we've never been up Bodach before, say it takes people on average about 5 hours to complete it total. So say 3 hours up, 2 hours down. That's cutting it really fine for us to get round this entire loop. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop our packs here, boost up to the top, the Munro up there and then head back down, because right here there's a path which zigzags down this glen, and if the camera picks up there's a wee 4x4 track which leads you back into Kinlochleven, and hopefully then we'll make either the 3:30 or the 5:30 bus. We just met a guy who passed and he had a similar idea. He's turned back from going to Ambodach because there's not enough time. Him for daylight hours. I mean, the daylight wouldn't have been a problem for us, but it's the public transport that we need to get back. A wee rainbow emerging. The weather's properly turning off. You can barely see over to the annex now. Turn you this way, you see the haziness of the sun back along there. There's Charles coming. So we've definitely made the right choice, especially if this weather's going to come in, because it's falling. It was like icy rain. It's not, I think the temperature's just above the freezing level. The wind chill makes it feel 10 times colder, however, but our backpacks are just in there, so we'll be down shortly. Down to Kinlochleven at the left of the screen there. It's going to be a long descent. We've got 2 hours to catch this bus, so we better keep moving. We're just talking about how foreboding Ambodach looks and how alpine this feels here. We're just walking through pretty much just grassland, and then you've just got this looming presence above you. The camera does not do it justice. We're properly rambling now, cross country in it down this burn, back down the glen. Positions we get ourselves in. We're about to say bye bye to Ambodach as we drop down deeper into the glen. Passing the remains of an old pen. Probably because the sheep have escaped up the hill. Doesn't look like it's been used in a very long time. But this is us just coming back to join the road. Alright, we've just came off the path there. We're about to walk into a shooting cottage, so you'll probably hear, there you go, some gunshots right there. Literally just like 2 meters away from us. So we're heading through the trees here, and hopefully we'll not get domed. I mean, they seen us and they waved, so let's hope that's not the last waves we get from anyone. But we're just heading through this, I don't even know what they call that. I hate maps sometimes. Supposedly a good trail. Oh well. Anyway, let's keep going and try not to get domed. Oh, it's lovely. Hot sunny day and be there. What I'm concerned about now is we're heading up there and I can see the shooting hut, and it's got the way they're shooting is like directly about where we're going to walk. Now it sounds like they're shooting blanks and they're just like maybe practicing recoil control with a shotgun. They had a double barrel, I've seen it. Anyway, alright, here goes nothing. Yeah, hopefully they've seen us. And hopefully it is blanks. But they can still do a bit of damage, so yeah. I mean, they've stopped, so we should be sound. They seem friendly enough anyway. Alright. Here goes nothing more. We're in the firing line. We're still in the firing zone. Jeez. That's a pretty surreal experience. Right, as quickly as possible. Run! Back in cover. I'm just up there on the hillside. Yeah, again, no, they've stopped, so hopefully they've seen us. I mean, they're looking directly at us, and I've got a big bright blue bag on, so it's just quite surreal being so close to slugs flying over your head. We're still up in the forest just above Kinlochleven. We've got a bus to catch in 15 minutes down there, so we're going to have to move really quite quickly. It's still really steep to go, and we've still got to cross the river and then back down, so I better shut up and let's keep moving. By the skin of our teeth. Right folks, that's us just arrived back in Glencoe. We're waiting on the bus. It's going to be here in about 20 minutes. We managed to get back to the Kinlochleven bus with 3 minutes to spare. It was absolutely so close to the end, but we made it nonetheless, and that's all that matters. We're going to wait here. It's biting cold, so going to stay warm and then jump in the bus back out down the road. So as always, hope you all enjoyed. If you did, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, happy climbs to Binnein. See you in the next one.